All right, let's jump right in. As a senior agronomic analyst, I can tell you that the intervention we're exploring in today's explainer is an absolute paradigm shift in modern orchard management. We aren't just out here cutting branches, we're completely re engineering the plant's architecture. Our strict focus? Restoring the photosynthetic efficiency of adult fruit trees that have entirely lost their vegetoproductive balance. To really understand this, we need to establish our strict agronomic baseline. We're working with the species Cacoqui rojo brilliante, specifically an adult orchard that is currently undergoing a drastic reform and rejuvenation phase. The phenological context here is absolutely crucial. We are doing this during vegetative rest, prepping for winter pruning. Why now? Well, physiologically speaking, the cuts we make right at this dormant stage are going to forcibly alter the root-to-shoot ratio, completely dictating the sap flow and resource allocation for the entire coming season. Here is our scientific roadmap for today. We'll start with physiology and cultural context, dive into canopy management and pruning, break down the Matag architecture, hit the nutritional plan, cover integrated defense, and finally wrap up with an efficiency synthesis. Section 1, Physiology and Cultural Context, Analyzing Structural Limits. Just look at this visual evidence. It's a classic example of a profoundly imbalanced plant. Over years of traditional management, this tree has accumulated so much heavy, unproductive wood. Physiologically, this excess structure acts like a giant straw, displacing all the sap flows upward. The vegetation gets pushed to the very top of the canopy, leaving the lower sections entirely barren. Because of this massive wooden framework, light literally cannot penetrate the interior. When that photosynthetically active radiation drops, the plant fails to generate new internal fruiting branches, which leads to a massive physiological imbalance. Ultimately, the plant just can't sustain its fruit, resulting in severe fruit drop. This perfectly illustrates the contrast. On the left, you have that traditional, obsolete architecture, shaded, choked by wood, and suffering from a severe structural imbalance. But look at the right. Modern international literature shows us that the paradigm has completely shifted. The kaki plant only expresses its maximum genetic potential when it is kept young, compact, and highly luminous. We really have to stop treating these trees like massive wooden statues and start treating them like dynamic, light-harvesting solar panels. Which brings us to Section 2, Canopy Management and Pruning, Restoring Vegetoproductive Balance. Now, this is the core of the method, and it is not a light trim. We are executing a bold, extreme reform pruning. Step 1 takes some real courage. We are making drastic return cuts directly on the main trunk, literally just 60 to 70 centimeters from the collar. Why so low? By instantly removing that massive above-ground wood volume, we violently alter the plant's root-to-shoot ratio. Suddenly, this huge, established root system pumps all of its stored reserves and sap into a tiny above-ground area, forcing an incredibly vigorous vegetative restart. From there, steps 2 and 3 are all about meticulous internal canopy cleaning and carefully selecting the absolute best new shoots to rebuild this plant from scratch. Check out the evolution of the productive wall post-intervention. The morphological changes are night and day, right? That massive shading wood is completely gone. In its place, we've got a renewed, low-profile vegetative explosion. By resetting the plant's architecture like this, we gain total control over light management, allowing us to build a continuous, well-illuminated productive wall right from the ground up. Section 3. The Mataic System and Architecture. Rebuilding the productive wall. The physiology behind this Mataic system is honestly fascinating. Out of that massive vegetative push we just triggered, we select and retain strictly 6 to 8 main axes. But here's the real technical game changer. We execute a summer topping, cutting those new shoots back to about 18 to 22 centimeters. By breaking the apical dominance during the active summer growth phase, we forcefully redirect the sap flow laterally. This rapidly stimulates the formation of continuous, young, compact fruiting branches that are perfectly primed for the following year's production. This whole concept is captured perfectly by agronomist Vito Vitali, who oversaw this specific recovery protocol based on his extensive international experience. He notes that today, true efficiency does not depend on the sheer size or volume of the plant. It depends entirely on the ability to maintain well-illuminated, balanced, and continuously renewed productive surfaces. It is a strict, non-negotiable shift from measuring cubic volume to maximizing illuminated square footage. Moving below ground, Section 4. Physiology and Nutritional Plan, Synchronizing Roots and Phenology. When you analyze the structural data here,
the need for an infrastructure shift becomes obvious. That obsolete 4x4 meter square spacing is just terribly inefficient for modern light interception. Modern layouts demand wider rows and much tighter spacing on the row, like 5x2 meters. For this specific orchard, we are executing gradual row infilling, shifting from a 4x4 to a 4x2 meter setup. And look at the irrigation shift. We're moving away from a few high-flow drippers to a high-density, low-flow dripper system.
So let's translate those mechanical changes into actual plant physiology. A high-density, low-flow drip system ensures uniform soil moisture, which massively enhances root absorption without causing root asphyxia. This unlocks what we call physiological nutrition. Basically, we can deliver precise nutrient formulas strictly mapped to the plant's phenological stages. We deliver exact mixes during flowering, adjust for fruit set and cell expansion, and finally shift our focus to lignification and the critical accumulation of winter reserves in the root system. Every single drop of water and gram of nutrient has a physiological purpose.
Section 5. Resilience and Integrated Defense. Prevention through Architecture. For our defense protocol, we rely entirely on the strict application of a strategia di difesa integrata, an integrated defense strategy. But the real secret here, the new architecture does half the work for us. By creating this compact, luminous canopy, we optimize light and, crucially, air penetration. This proactive management of the cultivation microclimate drastically drops internal humidity, and lower humidity means significantly reduced fungal pressure. A structurally balanced, well-aerated plant just naturally possesses immense canopy resilience, sharply reducing the need for continuous external interventions. Section 6. Synthesis of Photosynthetic Efficiency. The Future of Cultivation. Over 1,100. That is the target density of productive plants per hectare we achieve through this rigorous agronomic protocol. By transitioning from massive, woody, shaded trees to high-density, low-volume, highly illuminated walls, we prove a core modern principle. Less structural wood equals more functional yield, higher fruit quality, and vastly greater sustainability. As Vito Vitelli points out in our sources, the future of commercial cultivation inevitably passes right through this renewal. Less wood, more light, maximum photosynthetic efficiency. I want to leave you with a provocative question to think about. Are we ready to sacrifice obsolete wood architecture to truly maximize light interception and photosynthetic efficiency in our modern orchards? It absolutely takes courage to cut a mature tree down to 60 centimeters. But as we've seen today, the physiological and agronomic rewards are undeniable. Thank you for joining me for this technical explainer. Keep analyzing, keep optimizing, and I'll see you in the next one.